welcome to our Saturday Sprints. I am Gillian St. Kevin, author of Empowering Queer Fantasy That Confounds Expectations, and unfortunately I still have an echo. Darn.
Oh, you do? Ugh. I
Yeah,
can't hear any echo. I am Jamie Sands. I can't hear an echo. I write optimistic urban fantasy and queer romance and horror and whatever else I feel like at the time.
including super cute holiday romance.
I'm glad to hear you say that. It was, I loved writing it because one of my favorite things around Christmas is to watch silly Christmas romance movies, and that was my take on a silly Christmas romance movie in novel form. So, yay.
Yay.
Also, I don't know what my hair is doing today. I don't know what this is. It's just doing its own thing.
It doesn't matter. We are not here to be fashion icons. We are here to get some work done.
That's true. Although I
So
am wearing a Gengar hoodie.
Oh, okay, I take it back. Jamie's here to be a fashion icon. The rest
I'll
of us
just
are here to admire.
bench.
Marina, Billy, awesome to have you. We've also got Sam here, and Emma might have stuck around, might have gone off to enjoy their Friday. Either way, it's awesome to have you here briefly.
Excellent.
Yes. Sam
Hello,
says
Emma. Hello,
hair has
everyone.
another brain.
It does, and I blow dried it, and it was obviously like fantastic. Now I will puff in whichever direction I wish, and I
Yes.
mean, who am I to say no?
So last weekend, I told you that I would not be here because I would be babysitting the nibblings. The parents
Chipmunks, I guess.
very wisely decided to cancel their trip. It's like they were like, we've both had COVID. We're all not feeling 100%. This is not the ideal time to go away for a couple of days.
That is very good.
And
That is a very good decision.
it's an incredibly good decision because yesterday my brother-in-law, no, sorry, Thursday, my brother-in-law was just like, yeah, I'm sick. He made it all the way to the airport before realizing that he was not up to it and turned around and came home.
Yeah, Billy
Okay,
can still hear an echo.
we might have to tag team
Yeah.
with the mute button. Okay, so while I have the mic, I'm just really proud of my family for collectively realizing that you don't bounce back from being sick immediately, and sometimes you don't need to go to Wellington. I mean, yeah. So I and I am incredibly lucky because Major, the amazing dog I was taking care of all through, well, he was taking care of me while I had COVID, basically. Um, his owner was going away this weekend and she'd asked if I could house sit, and I had to say no, I have nibblings, but they cancelled, and I messaged her and said, actually, my schedule has cleared up. Are you still looking for someone? And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, can you stay an extra day? So I have had Tuesday through Thursday of just hanging out with George and lots of George cuddles, and now I get major cuddles in quiet and peace for the whole weekend. So yeah, I am extremely happy with my situation. Over to you, Jamie.
Right. Yes. So this week I has kind of been a wash because on last week I think I mentioned on Sunday that Anna had been having some kidney stone pain, and on Monday it got bad enough that I insisted in fact that we go to the White Cross A&E, and they referred us to Auckland Central A&E. So all up it was about 14 hours on Monday, from sort of 7:30 in the morning to almost 11 at night, and no, we got out of there about 10, and we got to a pharmacy on the way home. So it was just a really, really long day, and Anna has kidney infection, so she's got pills for that now. And we've both kind of been recovering from that all week because, I still have long COVID and that kind of thing is draining. And Anna is obviously drained from pain and healing. And so this week's just been kind of a lot of sitting on the couch and watching The Midnight Club, which is very good, by the way, if you were ever a fan of Christopher Pike books and point horror. It's a show about those, and it's literally one of the books that he wrote, and they tell each other stories, and some of those stories are other books that he wrote, and it's very, very fun. So it is horror, though, so if you don't like horror, maybe not, but I'm very much enjoying it. It's very 90s. So yeah, so big week. Although I got lovely feedback from Gillian on my Christmas story, which is always encouraging. And I did manage to do some writing around my my newsletter and a little bit on my Comic Con story. So a little bit done, but not as much as I'd hoped. That's okay because sleep is important. Yep. So achievements for the week, mine is just literally getting a little bit done. Over to you.
So I am actually in the middle of my weekly planning. So I have just written down this week I am most proud of being aware of my mood and health, recognizing that something wasn't right, and reaching out for professional help. Um, Basically, being isolated on, entirely on my own pretty much while I had COVID was rough. And then last week, when I was sort of back in at my sister's place, shuttling niece and nephew to their various activities and hanging out with them, I was like, wow, my thoughts are pretty sad. And it got to the point that on Thursday, I was like, yeah, this has been going on too long. I'm going to Google if depression is a side effect of COVID. Oh, it turns out it is. Great. Made a doctor's appointment, and within half an hour of making the doctor's appointment, as sad as I'd been feeling before, I was now that happy. And I was like, oh, maybe I just needed to reach out for help. But then that evening, I developed really intense stomach cramps, and I was like, oh, I'm having PMS. I do not usually have PMS because I have been on the Mirena since 2008 to help with my endo because I had horrifically awful period pain and PMS and all of the rest of it, and being on the Mirena helps. But it does not stop all of the period related crap, apparently. It just means that instead of this happening monthly, it happens maybe once a year, completely randomly. So it could still be something more serious. So I haven't cancelled my doctor's appointment, but I'm pretty confident it is like my ovaries going, you know what? We're here. We are not letting you forget about us. The reason I think that is because the mood swings and the cramp, for me, that's just too much to be coincidental. But my sister is like, you had Taco Bell for lunch. Obviously, this is a sign you need to take better care of your health. And I'm like, but no, do not question me. You look very animated, Jamie. I'm going to assume you've got things to say. So over to you.
Okay, first, COVID does make time of the month stuff worse, and long COVID as well. It actually does have an effect on everything in your body, basically. Taco Bell has a really bad reputation from the States, but Taco Bell in New Zealand is different because we've got higher food standards, and it's way less likely to make you sick. So I get quite annoyed when people are like, "You've had Taco Bell, of course you're feeling sick," because it's not the same. And it's delicious. So absolutely Taco Bell for life. That's my message. Should we get on to the warm up? I
Yes,
say,
we
and then
shall.
don't.
So, I am stealing the microphone so that I can voice my deck upon you all. Basically, the idea of this warm up is we're going to take 5 minutes to write without editing, without trying to make the words pretty or meaningful or anything. This is just an exercise to get us in the creative zone and ready for ready for the creative work that we are about to do. So we use the tarot cards because of the images and oh, pretty pen. Images and associations make for really cool writing fodder, basically. And we also, to make this even more kind of outside the usual and kind of get us really into the zone, Jamie and I, since we usually type, we use a pen and paper for our warm-ups. But I have rambled enough. Here is the card. Oh my gosh. It is the Six of Pentacles, and the reason I said oh my gosh and made a face is because I've had drawn this card recently and I wanted something new and different, but that's okay. Sorry, Six of Pentacles, you are a lovely card. But we have a branch and some leaves outlined in against a black background, and the pentacles are little buds that are forming. The Six of Pentacles. Pentacles is kind of the suit of success and worldly goods and things like that. And the Six of Pentacles represents the efforts you have made in the past starting to bear fruit. So it's actually a really lovely card. It's kind of saying, hey, all of the hard work that you've done is coming to fruition. This is a really nice moment to stop and recognize how hard you've worked and how much you deserve the success, and to maybe share that success and all of the good vibes with others. So yeah, do you guys want the official reading, or do you think I've done a good enough job of remembering that? Yeah, awesome. Okay, the Six of Pentacles, and I will grab my phone and do the timer. Okay, so 5 minutes starting now. Oh, hello Maggie, welcome. It is awesome to have you here. We've just finished our warm up, and Jamie was showing off that they've written an entire page, it looked like. Yay. I got a little 2/3 of a column there. And I'm going to turn over to Jamie to share what they're actually. I should share what I'm working on before handing over to Jamie. Um, Basically, I am aiming to finish my weekly review. I might go into my monthly review next since it's practically March, or I might. I'm probably going to, at some point in today's stream, switch over to working on my assessment for the Diploma of Small Business and Project Management, which is due on Monday. And I've realized that, this week I haven't had the headspace for creative stuff, so I've been concentrating on getting my coursework and other stuff. Like I can edit, but not write. So I've been editing. I've got another freelance project that I can work on if I get all of the course stuff finished, but the course stuff is probably going to take me this weekend. But then it will be done. And then I will have 2 weeks where I will have nothing to hand in for my course, and I can just do creative stuff. So it will be immense. Jamie.
I am going to dive back into my Comic Con rom-com because I feel like it's been a little bit ignored this week, so I'm going to see if I can get some stuff in there for that, and hopefully get some good words down, because it is very easy once I'm writing it, but getting myself to the point of writing it had been hard this week. So so I'm ready for the first sprint. I start it. My timer. Okay, I gotcha. Who's texting me? No one ever texts me. Oh, okay, cool. Right. Timer. 20 minutes. Okay, is everyone ready? Ready? Starting now. 20 minutes. first sprint done, and I'm getting to write a best friend having an over-the-top romantic disaster, so it's very, very fun. 428 words, plus some words earlier on, which I didn't manage to count.
Awesome, that sounds really great. I have continued sort of working out my schedule for next week and assessing how I feel about it. And I've been hanging out for the end of the sprint because first world problems. I cannot find the felt tips, the exact coloured felt tip that I use to write about my drive or my soothing activities. And I've been waiting for the sprint to end so that I can go into the other room to look for them without worrying about missing this chat. So, speaking of the chat, let us know how you got on in that sprint. Yeah, but I'm quite happy with my progress. And it reminded me that I wanted to talk about something really cool that happened this week. In 2018, a game came out called The Return of the Obra Dinn, and it's a murder mystery problem solving game where oh, Billy got some French practice, excellent, where basically the ship disappears at sea with all hands, and then 4 years later, it's just come back completely empty, and you are the agent employed by the insurance people to figure out what has happened to everyone on the ship. So you're basically walking around finding bodies and working out how they die. And that sounds awful, but the way they do it is actually the mechanic you use for it. You have this watch that kind of, you find something and you're like, oh, this looks suspicious, and you hold up the watch and you go back in time to like the seconds before that death. You hear what people say, and then you see the ship frozen as it is at the moment of the death. So you can walk around and be like, oh, well, this dude is over here getting stabbed. This guy is climbing over the edge of the ship into a boat. That's interesting. And so you can kind of work backwards and forwards and figure out what happened where, and it's incredibly cool. Anyway, I have wanted this game since 2018. This week it went on sale for 50% off. It is now $12 in the Steam store in New Zealand. And guess what? I bought it. I bought the heck out of it and I've been playing it. And I am so close to the end. I just have like 5 or 6 people left to decipher, and then I get to unlock this chapter that is, I'm so interested about it. I was I'd managed to forget that there was a supernatural element to this story, so that completely caught me off guard. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm loving it so much. And yeah, that has been kind of my self-care this week.
I was just saying I have played a board
You
game that's
can
sort of like that.
put us back to work.
No, you froze up for a minute. Okay. I've played a board game that's sort of like that. It's like a base game, and then you buy different installments for different stories, and you're all time agents who can go back a certain number of times and find out what happened. And it is expensive but very, very good. Cooperative games are my jam, so that was a very good one. And actually, the one we played, which was set in Antarctica in the like 30s or 40s, and I got to play a dog. The rest of us were people. Anyway, let's get into the second sprint. And yep, yes, do that thing. So 20 minutes starting now. second sprint done, and I got a few less, I think. 378 words. How'd you do?
I finished my kind of schedule for next week, worked out how much time available and how much I can realistically do in that time. I suspect I have still managed to give myself too much work, but I'm kind of happy. It looks like will definitely be able to comfortably get the main things done. We've also been joined by Amy. Hi, Amy. And Maggie has finished reading the hieroglyphic tales from the late 1700s, which I do not know what that is, but I'm really intrigued and I hope they'll tell us more. But I've also just started my monthly review and looking ahead for March, and I'm actually about to do a tarot reading for myself, so that should be fun. It's already off to a great start as the sort of crux of the matter. I drew the Hanged Man and I crossed it with Three of Cups, which is the Friendship Cups card. And I'm like, yeah, I need to be isolated and alone, but I also need friends. This is the conflict. So yep, I will mute myself and pass back to Jamie.
Maybe it's saying you need to reflect but have a dog with you at the same time.
That is a very, very big possibility. So Sam got in 589 words in that last sprint, which is amazing. So we've finished our second sprint, meaning this is the time where we usually pause to take a break. I have drunk all of my coffee and most of my water, so I'm quite happy for a break. Jamie's giving us the thumbs up, so I think we'll take a couple of minutes to refresh our drink, maybe grab at some snacks and then return. Feel free to leave your progress in the chat while we're away, because sometimes, you know, there's a bit of a delay, but yeah, we'll see you soon.
am back first. So you will get to hear about our stray cat situation. So Pookie, formerly known as Pumpkin, we've been having big improvements with Trust this week. She has spent time in the spare room, sleeping, overnight, not the whole night, but she's been in there like early morning, and last night, because it was raining so much, she went in there in the evening while we were still up, which was huge improvement. I've also been playing with her a lot with so we've got a long stick with feathers on the end that she really, really loves. Been playing with that a lot. And also ping pong balls. She's a big soccer player, which is very, very cute. And a friend of ours made us a kick toy for her, which is about this long, and it's got catnip on it. And she discovered that this week, and she absolutely loves it. She rubs her face all over it, and then she rolls and she plays and kicks with it, and it's very, very sweet to see her so relaxed. And then she's also brought in, we think, her brother, who we're calling Care Bear because he has a little heart shape on his chest, and a third cat who looks very like Pokey, but sort of in grayscale, very similar markings, who has been brave enough to come in while we're out as well, while we're in the lounge. So it's possible we've got 3 cats. We need to catch the second 2 so we can get them fixed and chipped, but they're not being very... They don't have a routine set up yet, so we can't predict when they're going to come. And if we just set out a trap, we'll catch Pokey because she loves food. So that's our challenge now. Back to you.
So one of my regular house sits is my former classics lecturer from university, and she lives out in the countryside, a few properties away from a what's the word? A cat hotel, basically. And one day when the cats were arriving at the cat hotel, a cage was dropped and 2 cats made a break for it. But my classics lecturer was involved in trapping cats after the earthquake and reuniting them with their owners. So she already had a cat trap and knew exactly what to do. And she set up her trap, and her husband said, hang on a second, we need to go around our neighbours and take photos of their cats. And so this is what they did. And they proceeded to catch every single cat in the neighbourhood. And they would look at the cat in the trap, compare it to the photos of the neighbour's cats and the runaway cats, and if it was a neighbour's cat, they would spritz it with water and let it go. And the neighbour's cats did not come back to the trap again. And only after catching every single one of their neighbour's cats, did they catch the 2 runaway cats. But yeah, my classic lecturer is awesome.
Alright, let's jump into our third sprint. Oh, someone's just invited me to do a raid with them on Pokemon Go. Okay. Yeah, let's do our third sprint and then I'll work out about Pokemon Go. 20 minutes starting now. Third sprint done. And I got 604 words. Oh, I thought that was a good sprint, and it was. How did you go?
Well, I've just drawn the final card for my March spread. So now I have to kind of figure out how they all go together. But I'm just really happy because I pulled the full, which is one of my absolute favourite cards, and it represents my past. So I'm like, wow, that's cool. Yeah. Unfortunately, I also got some not definite, not favourite cards in there. So now, yeah, it's just deciphering all of them, figuring out what I am avoiding that I need to work on or address. Oops, sorry, I need to unmute myself when I want to talk. Did you end up making a Pokemon decision?
Yes, my Pokemon decision was to wait to do all the things until after the sprint because there is a big event on with lots of things happening, and it's too much to multitask. So as soon as the sprint's over, I'm gonna go hunt some Pokemon. But until then, I'm just gonna write because it's going well. I'm getting good progress, which I like. I'm past 1,500 words on this manuscript now, so it's feeling good. Should we jump into our fourth sprint because we're right on? Yep. Okay. Here we go. 20 minutes. Starting now. Last sprint done. I got. Oh, I got lots done. 647 words. I'm in the zone. Might have to do some more writing later today. How'd you go?
I just have to say, I really enjoyed listening to your typing that last sprint, especially towards the end. It was like, wow, Jamie is on fire. It was, yeah, really encouraging because I've got a dog snoring at my feet, so it was quite a nice counterbalance. But I have finished kind of deciphering what the tarot reading had to say for me, and I think it has made me a sign that I need to work on my tendency to avoid conflicts and then instead think of some proactive things that I can do to kind of support the people in my life who are going through quite a stressful time right now. And yeah, so I'm actually very happy with that. I've still got a few things to do. I'm going to set up monthly trackers for what I want to accomplish in March and do a monthly review of what happened in February. Um, Normally, I do not do all of this in as part of my weekly review, but it just seems like a really good time to because I'm finally starting to feel like yeah I am safe to be around. I can rejoin the world properly. So yeah, it's just a really good time for me to sort of stop and take note of where I am and where I'm at, and yeah, that is all. Amy has finished the rewrite and sent the new version to a friend to read through before returning it to the editor for the next pass, and she's got final with a question mark, so that's very exciting. I will hand back to Jamie.
Yeah, nothing much more to add from me. I got over 2,000 words written this morning, so I'm really really happy with that. That's the most I've written in quite a while in one go. But yeah, Pokemon Go is calling, and I also need a nap sometime soon. So let's say see ya and see you tomorrow. And thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, echoing what Jamie's just said, we will be back here same time tomorrow morning, although we'll be hanging out on Jamie's channel. I'd love to see you there. But yeah, thanks for your company. If you're going to be continuing to write today, check out the AuthorTube huge spreadsheet for other sprints, or just Google on YouTube. Can you Google on YouTube? Search on YouTube. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.